The Alleghany Journal has some questions from Mayor Tom Sibold of Covington. You know, Mr. Mayor, I realize this is an election season, but you know, the city has memberships in various boards and commissions, sometimes in the Roanoke area and regionally. You know, I'm not so sure that the public understands what's the purpose of several of them. You know, like the Roanoke Regional Commission and that kind of thing. Give us a little bit of a rundown on some of the things that the city is participating in.
We are a member of the Roanoke Regional Commission. They represent participating local governments included in the geographical area delineated by the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is the commission is a state appointed region. So we're in Planning District 5, and the Regional Commission is available to help anyone in that planning district with any issues they might have. They help you to secure grants. They help you to comprehensive plan. They send somebody over to help us put together a comprehensive plan.
Which is required, I guess, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We have to do it every 4 years, and we're in the process of doing one now. We've got to have it in next year. And it's going to be good. But, you know, the comprehensive plan in a 4-year cycle, it's hard to meet the items that you select because 4 years, things change. So you don't always get to do what you want to do, but it's just kind of a guide to show us which direction we're heading in.
And isn't it nice, or at least it's appropriate anyway, that when you're a member of one of these boards or commissions, or like the Roanoke Regional Commission, these people understand grant applications. They have the connections with the state. So the bottom line, after all is said and done, is you have an opportunity to bring in cash to the community.
Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of it. You know, they help the district by planning, encouraging and assisting government subdivisions to plan for the future. And you know, we're not, I don't know how to say it, Jerry. I'm not a rocket scientist. I can't do all this stuff on my own. I need help, and that's not why we elect people to office. We elect people to office that can cooperate and understand what's going on with other people.
Well, that's become more and more important, hasn't it? I mean, as the cost of everything from roads to community improvements, it's the grant writing aspect of this is becoming more significant than ever, I guess.
It is. And you know, they're a big help, and I would hate to see us lose the relationship we have with them. We had got to that point probably 15 years or more ago when one of the councils decided we didn't need to participate. And that stopped all forward movement right there. We had to get reinitiated with them, get back in line with them, get back together with them. And
the planning district commissions, what all do they do? I mean, for example, if you're a member of the planning district commission, does that interface you with the state also for grant writing, that kind of thing? Essentially, what do they do?
They assist us with any district planning in the 5th planning district, and they try to keep the 5th planning district uniform in that we're not doing something in Covington and then something in Clifton Forge is a complete opposite of what we're trying to do. Or something's going on in Botetourt County is completely different from what's going on in Alleghany County. So they try to keep everybody on the same page, working to better the whole planning district instead of just one locality at a time.
No, are any of these involved with economic development per se? In other words, are they involved with helping you seek potential business clients or industry?
They work some with economic development elements, but the Roanoke Regional Partnership does the works with the people with the state for. So if we were going to get a candidate for a building here, you know, like we've got the pad site down in Lowmore. So the state will get a request from whatever company that they need a 100-acre site. Well, the state knows we have a 100-acre site. They'll come to the planning commission and say, we may have a candidate for the Lowmore project. Then we'll all work together to get with that candidate. And we'll have people go out and meet with them and talk with them. But we don't have the qualified people locally to do all those things. We've got some people that can handle some of it, but we need to be involved with it. The state won't call us and say, we've got a candidate. Any economic development candidates that the state gets, it's got to go to the 5th planning district and to the economic, the partnership. All these things, Jerry, you got the Roanoke Regional Commission, you got the Roanoke Regional Partnership, you've got the Greater Roanoke Valley Workforce Development, and they're all different agencies, but they do all work together to try to help us to get where we need to be with economic development, with workforce development. How do we train people? The Planning Commission helps us to put together our packages for what's it going to look like 5 years down the road.
Mr. Mayor, I wonder if I'm just a regular guy, I work at the mill or work on the railroad, I'm doing my normal work. And when we do reports to the Covington City Council, I wonder how many of us really realize what a huge investment, a long-term investment, the current council has made for economic development on that pad site. We're talking a couple $1 million, I believe. And then you made a historic deal with Alleghany County. And, 20 years ago, Tom, this just didn't happen. I mean, it didn't. Right. There may have been some talk, but then you guys got together and you got a local bank assisting you. And then the state kicked in some money. So although it might be a little fuzzy to the average taxpayer, what's happened here is a huge investment in the area's future. It's not just me. It's all of us in the region for once in 50 years putting together something that has tremendous potential if you can pull it off.
And it goes back to 10, 12 years ago when we started an intergovernmental meeting, and we had people from Covington, Alleghany County, Clifton Forge, and Iron Gate meeting together to try to advance the region, the Alleghany Highlands. One of the things that came out of that was a revenue sharing proposition. We all had to pass ordinances. We had to pass resolutions to bring all that together. Once we did that, we identified different properties that would be a part of revenue sharing. If the county's got a project going on right now that's not identified as a revenue sharing project, then that's their project. The pad site is a revenue sharing project. The city gets compensated for however much of a percentage we placed into that preparation down there for that pad site. So right now we're at 50% each. The city 50%, the county 50%. The state kicked in some money, but they don't get any of the revenue. We're going to share the revenue up here, not at the state level.
Well, that's a tremendous move forward. And by the way, what's happened to this intergovernmental group? I mean, it used to meet like quarterly and all. I mean, is it still operational?
Right now, it's not much going on with it. My intention after the first year was to see that start back up. I talked with Jeff Irvin and Chuck Unruh the other day about it. We've talked with Reed some at the county about it. Allen is aware of it. So that thing, I hope it can get started back after the first of the year.
And that's really you guys, various mayors and or vice mayors. You may have other appointed, I guess, members of the various councils. It's really all of you talking about various issues and seeing how you can cooperate better. Is that essentially it?
Yes, Jerry. And, I felt like I got elected in 2012 for the first time. And that was right after the last consolidation referendum that failed in the Alleghany Highlands. I don't know that we need a consolidation referendum as much as we need regional cooperation. And that's what we've tried to do through this governmental session with the local governments. If we can work together, and what we've done so far has been great. You know, we've done some things with EMS, we've done some things with the police. We're doing a lot together. We don't need to have the town of Covington. We're the city of Covington. You know, we don't need to consolidate with anybody. We need to work together to have joint cooperation. We're different areas. You know, I always compare it to New York City. You know, there's five bros in New York City. You know, you got all kind of. New York City is made up of 5 different regions. It's not just one region. And Alleghany Highlands is made up of 4 different areas. We've got the Iron Gate, Clifton, Covington, and Alleghany County. And if we can work together, this joint revenue sharing on the pad site, there's nowhere in Covington to put a 100-acre pad site. We don't have the room. Alleghany has the room. So we partner with them. All of a sudden, we're in the running for a 100-acre site where we would have been in the running for a 5 or 10-acre site if we just stayed in Covington. So we can work together and change some things. I can see some other things that we can start working on soon.
The overall impact, the potential impact, of course, is, you know, tremendous. But, you know, harking back here just a couple years ago, it took, at least in our view, it took a lot of courage for you and other members of city council to go against which, you know, 100 years of tradition, or however long it was, with Covington High School, and you know, various things had been tried over the years, and there were a couple failures to put the schools together. But now with the successful sports teams, and you can see the school board doing a number of innovative things, from, you know, getting kids back up to speed from COVID, even like Monday night, having a new boys and girls soccer, middle school soccer. A lot of those things wouldn't have been possible if you guys hadn't pulled off 3-2 votes in the school board and the city council to make this happen. We'd still be like this, wondering who's, you know, students are going to end up where, duplicating a lot of services. So for what it's worth, I think that took a lot of guts to pull that off.
It took a lot of planning, Jerry, a lot of looking, a lot of understanding. If I didn't think a joint school system would have been the best thing to do, I would have never voted for it. But I could see the cost savings that were going to be achieved. I could see the better opportunities for the students. We were sending kids to college that couldn't pass a general session test going into college. They had to go to general classes to get enough education to be able to take the regular classes. Now we got people that are learning. We got different projects going on. We have different classes available that were never available before. And the icing on the cake is about $3 million in savings in 2 years.
You know, I don't know if you noticed or not. Well, we haven't published it yet, but at Monday's school board session, there was a big group of kids who were celebrated for getting 600 on their SOLs, which is a perfect score.
Yeah.
And of course, the ones that came close didn't get that kind of celebration. But what's happened is you're seeing a gradual improvement in achievement. And if you had a situation where you do have a challenge here with this student or not, you've got a system in place that says, we're not just going to shove you aside. We're going to pay attention to business. And over the long term, that's going to have really positive effects.
Yeah, I agree.
So what else, you know, we've noticed at various meetings that the city council paid a little bit more attention to paving this year. Was it that you needed more paving this year, that maybe not enough had been done before? Or you know, maybe I misconstrued it, but it just seemed like you had a little bit more emphasis on that.
We finally got together enough money to do some paving. We had been putting money into paving. We'd put money in paving for a few years, and it just never did get to where the paving was done. So we had a little extra money in the budget last budget cycle. And we caught up a lot, and we're gonna catch up a lot more this year. We've got some paving that's getting ready to start. We're just halfway through this year's budget. We've got till next June, but I think we're gonna start seeing some paving in the Idlewild section, Parish Court section maybe. Trout Street's at the bottom of Idlewild. It's probably gonna get paved. Pitcher's Ridge. Those are all areas that are on the schedule for the next round. Now, they might not get all that finished before Christmas. Christmas, you can figure you're not gonna pave again until March. So in March, we'll start again and we'll have enough money to go through till June, and hopefully we can put some money in the budget in June to get some more paving done.
I think the people that are, on another note with respect to paving, the people who are living along the streets that Columbia Gas continues to tear up. I know they wanted to come to city council. Some of them may have thought you guys had something to do with it, but a couple of the situations were really pitiful where they couldn't even, feel comfortable backing out of their driveway. I mean, and Columbia Gas has seen, I'm sure that they had good intentions, but some of those roadways are messed up. And of course, it's nothing you guys really controlled, but in the end, you got to be a part of the solution and getting them fixed.
And Jerry, people look around and say, well, why aren't they paving this road? And the reason it's not getting paved is because Columbia Gas is probably getting ready to tear it up. And there's no need for us to pave it. You want to hear how dumb we are, pave a road and then let Columbia Gas dig it up.
That is so bad. I think along Alleghany, there was one stretch where you'd pay and there wasn't communication, and Columbia Gas just, went about their business. That was pitiful. That was bad. But you're pretty confident you've got a good relationship now with them, and that kind of thing won't happen in the future.
Well, with Alan, he goes out and talks to them. He's built a relationship with them. They'll call him now and tell him what their plans are. And then we can work around our paving schedule to accommodate them. I'd much rather go in and pave Jackson Street after the mess than before.